We've got to be dreaming.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it doesn't matter if it's, the outfits in Mortal Kombat 11, or if it's the characters in Final Fantasy VII Remake, or in this case, the Resident Evil 3 Remake. There is a modernization type of ethics department interference that a section of the gaming community simply doesn't like, myself included. The primary pushback that you're going to get from the perpetually offended fans of censorship is always the same. It's always to gaslight, and it is frustrating to deal with. It's extremely frustrating to deal with, and now game developers and weirdo Twitter personalities have begun to dogpile on a friend of mine, Vera Dark. We go way back to when I used to make Magic the Gathering videos, and I'm happy to see she's still making videos. She's one of the few females I see that generally speaks out against this type of thing, and it's always met with the exact same thing. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let me get into my... Oh, actually, why don't I get into character while I'm here? Oh, gamers mad because they can't beat their meat to this video game, chuds. Or how about this one? We'll do a guy's one. I don't have to change how I look, because it's all the same. Oh, gamers losing their mind over minor change in video game. Ooh. That is generally the reaction you see, and it's difficult to combat that because it is a small thing. It is a slippery slope, as always. But the problem is, how do you deal with these morons? These are the same people, by the way, that freak out over a single line of dialogue in Persona 5. So they themselves are so hypocritical, it's almost hilarious. Let me just use two simple examples. They changed Jill Valentine's skirt into a skort, or they put a bigger shirt on, or they make Tifa's chest smaller. Here's a perfect example, right? Both small changes. Also, Persona 5 Royale has a line where there's two flaming, very, very how do you say, over the top gay characters that are also getting kind of spicy with a kid. It's like a one sentence, not a kid, but like a teenager or something. One sentence spawns 1,000 articles about how it's misrepresenting and it's but if they change the outfits on Mortal Kombat, that's no big deal. See, it's about what matters to them, and the only way they can push back is if they say, well, you can't beat off to it, so is that why you're mad? Gamer bros just want to... Oh, they turned She-Ra into a prepubescent looking boy. Ooh, gamers mad because can't wank. There is nobody making that argument. It's the classical straw man, and if you see people doing this, just call them a moron and move on with your day. You see a few articles sneaking. I think you're going to start to see more now that the usual suspects like 9volt and Rami picked this up. You see Resident Evil 3 leaves some fans fuming over Jill Valentine's skirt. Resident Evil 3 Remake pre-order bonuses include, among other things, a classic Jill Valentine costume inspired by our iconic blue boo tube and miniskirt from the 1991 PS1 original. Unfortunately, it left some fans fuming as Capcom has opted to exchange the protagonist's bottom layer for a pair of shorts. No panty shots for you, readers. Exactly. Again, this is the reduction. You can tell the people that make this argument are just degens. That's the only thing I can think. They're the ones that are upset that they can't beat off to it. I don't know how else you could put this. People are mad because, yes, it's small, okay? No, it's not going to ruin the game. Nobody really means that or says that, okay? There might be some people out there who say that, but that's not the core of the argument. The core of the argument is this is, in fact, a slippery slope where companies have entire departments called ethics departments, like Capcom and Square Enix, where They will make subtle changes to characters so that they don't get blue-haired backlash. It's in some particularly eye-opening exchanges, franchise fans ponder the idea of launching a class action lawsuit against a publisher claiming that this false advertising. Others blame Sony's draconian policy against good-looking women. The truth is that the company probably felt slightly altered costume retained the spirit of the original while making more sense in the realistic adaptation. I like how you say the truth is probably. You don't know the truth. I'm telling you that the truth is likely that they made the change for SJW reasons. Does it ruin the game for me? No. Does it mean I'm just not going to give my money to them? Yeah, probably. So what? Life goes on. When you have the likes of Matt, my wife's boyfriend, Jarbo, trying to roast you, again, the thirst for anime vag is real. The slippery slope of changing a miniskirt to a skirt will clearly bring upon the degradation of society. Again, gaslighting. This isn't her statement. She said quite simply, small changes are still changes. It's not even about the change itself. But once you give up an outfit here or a small change there, then suddenly all the character's originality is gone. This is true. This is just quite frankly true. And again, you get people like 9volt here. LOL. Basically sending, let's see, their 80,000 followers to dogpile a tiny YouTuber. Sorry, Vera, but in comparison. By the way, you should check out Vera's channel. Very good content. I love it. Are you aware that the woman who made this tweet is getting dogpiled now? I thought you guys were all about opposing women being harassed online. I mean, dudes allowed, or I don't know who this is. They always have probably some of the worst takes, but their fans are very rabid, which fine. You know, holy, can they hear themselves? Marketing strategist. I doubt you're very successful at it. I love working in the ethics department at Capcom and adding skirts to all of the characters. Again, they don't think it's a big deal. So they think it's pointless, but they want us to think every little thing they're upset about is a big deal. You get that? Like, you get the hypocrisy. It's ridiculous. And they'll say, oh, she's trying to make the slippery slope argument because the skirt was paramount to Jill's identity, apparently. Again, gaslighting, trying to just be with an absurd response. Look, again, I'm not saying the game is ruined forever. I'm just saying that when you make these changes, don't try to pretend that they just happened to happen. You did it for a reason. You did it so people like 9volt and this cuck Rami Ismail wouldn't get all upset online. You see, he tweets about it. Let's see what the gamers are upset about today. Oh my God, y'all really? This is the exact, I mean, you could copy paste the response every single time. Oh, it's totally not a big deal, except everyone's supposed to drop everything if something in a video game is problematic, right? So these people are intellectually dishonest and they just bear it out for everyone, for the entire world to see. I see another one of the let me defend developers' freedom to make what they want by yelling at what developers wanted to make so they made because I do not like. Right. So Rami's sarcastic point here is that the developer clearly wanted to do this for purely design reasons and not, I don't know, avoiding upsetting people like you. To anyone pretending to care what developers wanted to make without having a developer from the specific project explicitly saying the result is not what they wanted to make. The game you're playing is what the developer wanted to make. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Do you think Square Enix really cared about the size of Tifa's chest? Or do you think that all of people like Rami screaming online about it is why they made the change? Just a simple question, Rami. You think Square Enix, when they're remaking Final Fantasy VII, on their list of things to do was to make her boobs smaller? That was an important thing to Square Enix. That's why they did it. That's the argument you're making. I doubt it. Sorry to burst your bubble. Devs aren't sitting around a table going, Operation Project Upskirt 2020. They're going, okay, we did a quick art test, but with 2020 rendering animation, art style, and camera, the old outfit won't work. How do we retain Jill while solving that? Maybe. It's possible. And, of course, the classic argument. I mean, we released a survival strategy game yesterday and got 2 negative reviews because the voice of the intro cinematic sounds like Greta Thunberg. It's funny.
How dare you?
It's funny because it's 2 sides of the same coin. These are the same people that look at a joke. Do you remember Ion Fury? Where there was a soap in the bathroom called Oil of Ogay and everybody lost their mind? You people do the same stuff, yet you act like you're better than it. Sit down and leave my girl Vera alone. By the way, check out her YouTube channel. Let's see how she's doing. I haven't seen her in a while. Look at that. All right, she's doing good. She's got almost 20,000 subscribers. Good for you, Vera. Every time a woman speaks out against censorship, these people get extremely offended because it shatters their narrative that, yes, all women are victims by beautiful women. I mean, yeah, that's why characters like Jill Valentine and Lara Croft are universally loved by men and women alike. I wonder what Melanie Mack has to say about this.
We're seeing such an extreme overcompensation to the point to where female characters, existing ones who were already maybe curvy or dressed in flashy clothing, we're seeing these characters be changed. Their curves are being taken away and they're being covered up, all in the name of female women rights. Like, oh, she can be taken seriously now because she couldn't be taken seriously before.
Nothing like a bunch of skeezy men telling all the other people on the planet what women want and how women should be treated. I can't wait to see these people show up in the police blotter someday because historically speaking, it seems to happen a lot. And it's sad. Again, it's not the be-all end-all of video games, obviously. But at the end of the day, these are deliberate changes that are made to modernize video games. To deny that is to completely prove that you aren't interested in any real conversation here. Now you can say these are changes to make a game more modern that I agree with. Okay, but that's an argument. But saying, well, this is just a natural thing that occurs and the artist totally didn't have to worry about SJW outrage online is ridiculous. Of course people would write these articles. And then you see other articles that, you know, by the way, I know the last Resident Evil remake was really, really good. It's still installed on my computer. Didn't grab me, though. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't love puzzle games that much. I loved Resident Evil early because it was just like, whoa, this is so cool. I actually really like everything about even the movies, right? Been a big fan of them. But this, again, Resident Evil 3 Remake seems doomed to fail. The latest reboot is trying to be the missing link, but it ends up missing so much. I'm not a big pay for reboot. I'm not in a big hurry to buy Final Fantasy VII Remake either. And I'm hearing some real disappointing things from early play from the people that have it in Australia. But yeah, Resident Evil 3 is fine. The last remake was really well done. But it's maybe not for me. I guess that's maybe the thing. But I'm sure sales will do fine because everyone has a captive audience. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.